Hi, it's me again with laser tips and tricks. And over the several years, people have asked me how I turn this into this. And it's really easy. Clocks are extremely easy, extremely profitable. I mean, I probably have the maximum of $10 in this clock. In the one and a paint, I call this paint and replace. You can add a lot of bling to your work. First of all, I would cut it out. I would put all the pieces back in. That's the only picture I failed to take. I would use blue tape on the back where all the pieces in that I sand them. And then I would take out the insides of the circles and the inside of the B. And I'm using tape. This blue tape is upside down. The sticky is up. The other two pieces are holding the tape down. And then I spray the whole thing with a lacquer. Then I take the words that have been cut out. And here's kind of the trick. You've already sanded it. Normal plywood has some, not really grains of wood, but has some depth and lines in it. And so you've got it sanded, you blow them off. And I'm doing the same thing with the tape here. I've got the double-sided, or the sticky part up, the sticky part down, holding it down. Because if you don't, they'll blow off and move around. Now, the key to make it look really good is to coat it twice with primer. I like using just a gray rattle can type primer. What the primer does, it seals the wood and it starts adding layers of paint. And you'll see why. And then I always coat it twice with the color, like this is the red and the blue. Then I take it, I've got my backing, which is two pieces of 1/4 inch MDF stacked up. You could use a bolt. Once you figure out your clock mechanism size hole, this helps you glue it together so it won't slide off. So that's a picture there. Then I take it and I take a cheap blue brush, and this particular one started losing bristles, but it doesn't really matter. And you coat it with a glue really all over it. But where you're going to want to have the writing, you don't want it to be so thick that it's going to, when you put pressure on it, that it's going to ooze up through the letters. So you want to, and this glue would probably take 15 minutes to dry. If you take 5 minutes to brush it on real good, it's still tacky. And then I'm still using the pen, and you can see the glue down in the holes. The pen is my indexing, so I'm getting it perfect. Then I add the letters and the colored part, and you can actually see one of the O's fell through my grade of my laser, and I had to recut it. It's a little bit different shade of plywood, but looking on it straight on, you can't really tell it. There's what's left over from the paint. Then I cover it in 2 sheets of wax paper. You want to make sure your paint is dry. And then I put weights on it. You don't have to, I found these weights years ago at a junkyard. And I've actually got the next clock's MDF on top of it. So it's indexed. Now it's got the black burn, but I turn the black burn off. I have a lathe. You don't have to do that. You could sand it off. But then I put weights on it, and then there's the end result. I just use Titebond 2. And see, like in this picture, this one looks like this one's a little bit off color. But that's how to make a clock. They're extremely easy. You can get clock parts almost anywhere. And this is a 12-inch, and then the backing is 11-inch, and that way it's got it. Well, you can actually see in this one picture the lip. That's the lip of the clock sticking past the 11-inch MDF. So the MDF that I'm gluing it to is on the bottom. This is basically for the next clock. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.